the Eradicator.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Irad. As you may know, I am a Polaris owner, so I'm really excited about any update regarding the Polaris. We've learned that the Polaris will be coming into our hands for this year's IAE, the Interplanetary Aerospace Expo. Finally, right? This is really exciting to get a new capital ship and something that we've been really waiting for quite some time. Gib Polaris, if you guys remember that old meme from such a long time ago, it was like Gib Karak and then Gib 890 Jeb and whatever. Now it's Gib Polaris. Let's go. Let's check it out right now.
We really wanted to have some form of the exterior of the Polaris at Invictus launch week.
Yeah. I mean, it's so amazing to just already have a look at the massive exterior. We can check it out also in the Fleet Parade.
We wanted to mix up the capital ships on display this year.
Being a big kind of military show, it made perfect sense to be able to kind of show it off in its best light.
Absolutely. It's just unfortunate that, yeah, the cockpits and all the glasses, the windows have been, blacked out, but that's normal. They don't want to reveal the interior right now, I suppose. Maybe it's not entirely ready.
We pushed quite hard to get the exterior to a point where we're happy to show it publicly.
It looks
this meant
finished.
We prioritized doing the exterior over the interior. So the exterior you see...
Oh, wow. Look at all those. These are missiles or torpedoes. Looks like the torpedoes coming right out of here, right?
It is pretty much final art. All it is missing is really the damage setup, as I'm sure people have tried to do. It is currently invulnerable, or hopefully invulnerable in game.
Oh, so you cannot damage it, you cannot destroy it in the game right now, okay.
Visually, I think not only have we been trying to get it out so we can show it, but we've also tried to kind of really push the quality of the exteriors of some of our kind of like large
And there's the
capital ships.
hangar there.
And what that has meant is that we needed to focus a
Oh, look at that. Look at this. This is so cool.
few more artists than what we'd normally put on the exterior of a ship, just to make sure we kind of hit that quality bar and we hit it on time. It's pretty close to being Lot Zero, which means that the majority of the main modeling's done. There's still a whole bunch of decal work, the finer details, what we call as POM details, pass needs to be done, and that really...
Yeah, but it's not something that it's not, as a long-time backer and gamer, it's not something that I can see, right? So
helps to elevate the kind of like the close read. I think the distance read and the mid reads are like brilliant, and to be fair, the close read when you get up in personal is looking really, really good. It's just we've still got that kind of like final sprinkle of polish to go on.
yeah, they just want to make it look a little nicer, and that's basically it. Oh, we have a look at the hangar here.
With the focus on the exterior, and
Oh, the
pushing
cargo
that
bay?
as far as we could in the time we had. The interior is not quite as far along. It is more around the grey box stage.
Well, it still looks pretty
the people
good.
we put on the exterior now will be moving on to the interior.
Normally on a vehicle is we try to kind of keep the development stages in line throughout the kind of like the life cycle of its development. It means that the interior isn't, it's
There's
not
the
at
med
the same
bay
level
here.
that the exterior is.
Yeah, definitely, right?
been
But
focused-
I think it's the first time that we see the gray box interior, though.
On the core traversal areas of the ship.
The majority of the rooms have now been worked up. I think there's maybe 2 or 3 rooms that are still in white box that still need a
see.
decent amount of kind of modeling and work doing to them. But the rest of the
That's the hangar, isn't it? Oh, man.
rooms now are kind of getting to the point where we're pretty close to grey box.
Oh, we're going to put a lot of small snub fighters here. Lots of Furies are going to be parked in there. I'm telling you guys.
The bridge, the main corridors, the hab area, the cargo bay, torpedo rooms, and all the turrets. So these are a bit further along than some of the more secondary rooms like the brig and the medical bay.
Yeah, I don't think we'll put a lot of people in the brig, right? There's
I
just
think of the Polaris,
backspace
like,
and
its key
respawn.
points are the torpedoes, and I think that's been an area that has needed quite a lot of iteration on, and we're not quite there yet. One of the things that we're kind of really trying to make sure feels good from a player's point of view is the kind of like the loading of the torpedoes and seeing them kind
so
of...
they want us to be able to see how the torpedoes are loaded.
from-
That's really incredible, because in most games, what we're seeing, when all those little mechanisms, it's like game magic. It's not something that we see, but in Star Citizen, this is really showing how limitless of an experience Star Citizen is. In Star Citizen, you get to see that, and that's amazing.
in your
That's
cargo
awesome.
hold to being in the kind of like loading mechanism and then being ready to fire. So on the kind of like lower deck and front half of the vehicle, we've got these big torpedo loaders. And that's an area that it's needed quite a lot of iteration to make sure it feels right. And we are still in that process. It's not kind of fully signed off. We're not completely happy with that area, but it certainly kind of makes up the...
I mean, they still have a couple of months, right? Right now it's going to be June, July, August, September, October. They got about 6 months, half a year to finish it for the expo. So they should be ready, right?
the heart of the ship. Otherwise, on the interior, the main upper deck is kind of really starting to come on. The engineering section is another kind of area that I think is really important in our capital ships and kind of getting to a level that we're happy with.
Especially when we are going to have engineering gameplay. So we're going to see more and more players getting into those parts of the ship. It makes sense.
From the kind of concept to into production, we have opened up the bridge of the ship a little bit. One of the things we wanted to do was when you kind of enter onto the bridge, this should feel kind of like super exciting and super rewarding to the player. If they've managed to kind of get one of these ships, we want it to feel like they are kind of really living that kind of military life dream. So we've spent a bit of time kind of opening it up, giving some nice...
Oh, yeah, I think they removed a couple of struts here so that we can really see what's going on in front. That is such an epic cockpit here, or cockpit or bridge. It looks so good. And I like that we are right at the front of the ship when we're looking at what we're seeing. There's not going to be anything hindering, but you're going to have to also take in consideration the actual side of the ship when you're going to be landing it, for example.
As you kind of enter onto the bridge itself, what we really wanted to do was kind of make sure that the player views are good, the captain gets a great kind of view out the front, and make sure that navigating around that area, especially as kind of more and more kind of multi-crew gameplay systems come online, we want to make sure that there's enough space on that bridge to have not just the captain and the pilot, but a whole crew there.
Now, we got a few of those in the Iraq Club. I know, obviously, Gruff, my friend Admiral Gruffus, has got the Polaris. I got the Polaris. A lot of other members have Polarises as well, Polari. And I don't think we're going to bring them all at the same time. That would require a lot of crews already. But if we can have like a few gaming sessions with the Rat Club all together, flying in the Polaris, maybe in the Pyro system, right? That would be phenomenal.
Compared to the concept mesh, one not big change, but unresolved area was the hangar opening. It was it's quite a complex shape to open. So we spent a lot of time working on that, but that's all resolved. And
yeah, it's not a big hangar. Huh? See, it's just barely the size of a Scorpius. Now let's go back in there. Yeah, the Scorpius can go out, and that's it. And that's why we're not going to put the Scorpius in the hangar. When in my Polaris, we're going to put some Furies. So I think I'm going to put maybe 6 Furies in there. But it's actually not that much. It's not going to be like an ironclad.
Shape to open. So we spent a lot of time working on that, but that's all resolved. And then another thing we are looking at in the future is actually doing some more upgunning of the turrets. So it is not just a torpedo boat. It can sort of hold its own against other capital ships with its turrets. You'll see more of that as we get
So that means that they have also increased the size of the turret.
To releasing it, which we are aiming for at IAE this year.
Yes!
So, what did we learn this week?
That's it. That was
Well,
really
we
short.
learned that the Drake Ironclad is the next...
Oh, well, that was really short, but that's okay. I'm really excited, and I guess that, of course, we're going to make a ton of video when this one comes out. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. How hyped are you for the Polaris? Do you own one? Are you planning on getting one? I want to know everything. I've been Ryan, guys. Have a great day. See you guys in the next one.